In this video, you'll learn how to get thousands of dollars every year absolutely for free with bank account churning. With a rich mentality, you'll easily work just a bit harder than usual for this and not just dream about it. Take advantage of bank account bonuses. Many banks will offer you some sort of bonus if you open a bank account with them and meet certain requirements. These requirements can vary, but they typically involve direct depositing a certain sum or maintaining a certain account balance for a specified period. In practice, what this means is that if you have some cash set aside, you can use that cash to earn bank account bonuses, essentially allowing your idle cash to earn much more than the typical 1 or 2% interest that most savings accounts offer. I've personally earned thousands of dollars over the years simply by taking advantage of these bank account bonuses, aka bank account churning. And it may not be a life-changing sum, but it's definitely not pocket change for most people either. And like most things in life, the more I do these bank account bonuses, the better and faster I get at them. If you have a partner, you can essentially double all of these numbers when you guys get in on it together. Welcome to Rich Mentality. If you're interested in improving your financial future, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if this video is helpful. To understand how much these bank account bonuses are worth, consider this. A high yield savings account paying 2% interest would require $150,000 to generate $3,000 per year in interest. You can earn that same amount just by having $5,000 to $15,000 that you can dedicate solely to bank account bonuses. This makes bank account bonuses a great way to utilize cash that you don't need, like your emergency fund, allowing you to earn 5% or more in interest per year with no risk of loss. Sure, it's not entirely passive, but anyone with a rich mentality will think it's well worth the effort. Bank account bonuses can be a little bit intimidating. However, I'm going to walk you through all of the information you need to know about bank account bonuses so that you can take advantage of them and start making some real money off your idle cash. What are bank account bonuses? How do they work? And why should you do them? The concept behind bank account bonuses is pretty simple. Just like any other business, banks have to spend money to acquire new customers. One obvious way that banks do this is by running advertisements. Another less obvious way is by offering sign-up bonuses to new customers, basically paying people to open up an account with them. In general, getting a bank account bonus will require you to do 3 things. 1. Find a bank offering a sign-up bonus. 2. Open the specified bank account that's eligible for the sign-up bonus. And 3. Meet the requirements to earn the bonus. Make no mistake, it does take some work to do this. Still, it's not much work, and most people can do this while sitting around watching TV. Your typical bank bonus should pay you at least $100 after you complete all of the requirements, and more often, $200 or more. Most of these requirements can be automated, and even if it took you an hour to open up and set up, that's still a good return on your time. $100 or more per hour is probably more than you make from your day job. Requirements for bank account bonuses. 1. Direct deposits. The vast majority of bank account bonuses will have some sort of direct deposit requirement. This will typically require you to do a certain number of direct deposits, 2 direct deposits for example. These direct deposits also usually have to be for a minimum amount, typically $500 or more. Direct deposits are usually the hardest requirement to meet and are something that can trip you up if you don't know what you're doing. That's because for most banks, only certain types of deposits count as direct deposits. There are basically 2 ways to do a direct deposit. You can either do a real direct deposit or you can do a fake direct deposit. Let's look at the differences between the 2. Number 1, real direct deposit. The absolute easiest way to meet a direct deposit requirement is with a real direct deposit from an employer. Most people won't be able to do this because the vast majority of employers don't make it easy to switch the direct deposit for your paycheck. If you happen to have an employer that allows you to easily switch your direct deposit, then getting a bank account bonus will be really easy for you. Number 2, fake direct deposit. For most people, getting direct deposit from work won't be possible since most of us can't change our employer direct deposit easily. If you're in this situation, which is very likely, then you'll need to figure out ways to simulate a direct deposit. This involves doing ACH transfers. You need to know a little vocabulary before we continue. An ACH push involves doing a transfer out of one bank account into another. An ACH pull is the same thing but in reverse, pulling money from an outside bank account into your bank account. To fake a direct deposit, you'll need to do an ACH push from one bank account to your target bank bonus account. Many banks will automatically code ACH transfers from certain accounts as a direct deposit. Note that you'll need to do your own research to figure out which accounts trigger the direct deposit requirements. Many times, you will have to send multiple ACH transfers in and out of the bank accounts and hope that one triggers the direct deposit requirement. Ally, Capital One 360 or Discover, Airbnb, Robinhood or Webull, Fidelity bank accounts, PayPal, and Astra is a list of accounts I typically use to trigger these direct deposits. In general, I've found that some combination of these will work. This obviously isn't an all-inclusive list, but it's a good starting point that should hopefully help you. Number 2, debit card transactions. This is a fairly self-explanatory requirement. Some banks will require a certain number of debit card transactions to meet the bonus requirements. Typically, it'll be something like 10 debit card transactions within 30 days. You can obviously meet this requirement by actually using the debit card, but an easier way to meet the debit card transaction requirement is by buying small denominations of Amazon gift cards. Another way to meet debit card transaction requirements is to link the debit card to a payment app like Venmo or Square, then send small amounts to your friend or spouse. They can then send you the money back via some other method. However, never go out and spend money on things you weren't already going to. That defeats the purpose of this. It's not the rich mentality way. Number 3, moving a certain amount of money into the bank. Again, pretty straightforward. If the bank has this requirement, you'll just need to transfer a designated amount of money into the new bank account. Most banks will also require you to do a minimum opening deposit when you open the account. It's usually a pretty small amount, typically $25 or so. Number 4, keeping a certain minimum balance for a period of time. If a bank account has this requirement, you'll need to move money into the account, then leave it in there for a specified time period. It'll usually be something like 90 to 120 days. When a bank has this type of requirement, you can sort of think of the bank as serving as a short-term CD. Number 5, bill pays. Again, this is a self-explanatory requirement. If a bank requires bill pays, you'll need to schedule bill pays using the bank's bill pay system. Most of the time, the bank will require a certain number of bills paid. This type of requirement is pretty easy for anyone to complete. Bank bonuses are a wonderful way to utilize your idle cash in a risk-free way. Since these are all FDIC-insured savings accounts, at worst, you might just mess up with meeting the requirements and not get your bonus. As a benefit, however, you'll never lose your principal, and your money will always be liquid if you need it. When done correctly, most people can earn $1,000 or more per year just by going for a few different bank bonuses, and you'll only need $0 to $15,000 set aside to use for bank account bonuses. When you do the math, even $1,000 per year in bank account bonuses is an annual return between 6 and 1,000% on your $0 to $15,000 of funds. It's a perfect way to use your emergency fund and have it actually earn real interest. You can find any of these bonuses with a quick search online, but in the description below, I'll give you my link to SoFi, which will get us both free cash up front, then another up to $300 for you with direct deposit. Thanks for watching.